Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel, and what I have here for you today is the very impressive SMOK Kooper Primus 300. GearBest was nice enough to send me this unit for review. However, it will not affect my review in any way. I'll give you the good and the bad, of course, as I always do. Now, why should you stick with me and watch another vaping video of another product? Well, some of you might say, oh, it's a vaping video and I don't vape and I'm not interested in it. Well, there's a lot of other videos on YouTube, right? So, you know, don't be hateful if I'm letting you know it's a vaping video right up front, because I know this obviously might not look like something that's an electronic cigarette. It looks more like a hand warmer or what a lot of people call a cheese grater, but it's not. It's an electronic cigarette. See, there's the 510 adjustable pin right up there. But this is a 300 watt unit. You heard right. 300 watts. It has some other neat special things, like a huge and very bright screen, and on the back here, yeah, 3 18650 batteries. So, you know, hopefully it'll also provide a lot of power for a long time, because if you had like one battery at 300 watts, it would be empty in 2 presses. So you need a lot of batteries. So if at any time you're interested in this unit, please visit GearBest. I went ahead and put a link below right to this unit, and they were nice enough to give me a coupon code to pass on to you to get, I think, 12% off. So it should, if it's at regular price when you watch this video, it should bring it down to $53.16 or whatever. But just go ahead, try out the coupon code, and please visit the link, support my channel, support GearBest. They are providing some really awesome products. So let's go ahead and take a close look. As always, I'd like to show you how it comes. It's going to come in this box right here, and what you do is you push it open. There's cellophane wrapping that came on it. Of course, I had to take that out and test everything, and then once you get to this point, it's hard to get that in frame, you pull this out like a draw. See that? Yeah, don't try to, like I did. You pull it out like a draw, okay? And the unit would be in here just like this. You're going to pull it out. It did not include those 3 18650 batteries I showed you, but you got to get some high quality IMR 18650 batteries to put in there. You get the silicone gel, don't eat it. Heed the warning. Then you pull this little tabby thing right here, and what you get is no cable, by the way, or nothing like that. You get a card here that basically tells you don't use bad batteries in here. As always, use high quality batteries that can provide a sufficient amount of amperage and power so you don't blow your hand off. You got a customer card here with some barcodes and warranty information. Warranty information there. I don't know if you want to freeze frame, but you can. And it looks like we got a user manual, which, by the way, it's adequate. It's okay. It could be a little difficult to understand. It's not the best written, but however, it's not the worst written manual I've ever seen. But again, I'm being totally honest with you guys here. I had to go online to figure some of this stuff out. Sometimes that can be dense. So, alright, so what do we have here? Here is the unit, and the first thing you notice is, yeah, it's freaking large. I happen to have one of these guys right here. You're probably familiar with it. The Relux, just so you can sort of see the difference in size, and yeah, just to give you an idea that, yeah, this thing is very, very large. What we have here is a 300 watt device that also includes all the temperature control stuff that we're used to in a lot of devices as of filming today. That means it can support stainless steel, nickel, titanium. You have a 510 socket right on top there with an adjustable 510 pin. You have a little bit of a well here for airflow and juice things, whatever. You have a very, very large screen. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this on so you can sort of see what it looks like. It's off, so to turn it on, you're going to go ahead and click the fire button right there 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wake it up, just so you can sort of see how big, bright, and all that information that you get on this screen. It is damn impressive. I am very impressed. There's your fire button. You could hear there's a little bit of rattle, but when you shake it, you're not going to get any rattle from the button, but you do get a rattle from something else that we'll talk about here in a minute. The button, nice and clicky. You have up and down buttons right here. So in this case, since we are in wattage mode, we might be locked here. We are locked. So, by the way, you can lock the device 3 taps, or no, 5 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're unlocked. If you want to lock it, 5 taps on the power button, and now you can see very clicky. Nice buttons. Nice buttons. No play there. A little bit of play on the fire button. Zinc alloy body, and what we see here is a very interesting design. To me, first thing out of the box, it looked like a hand warmer. Again, some people call it cheese grater. You can see all these bunch of holes. But I like the look. I like the brushed stainless steel kind of look, even though it's a zinc alloy. And lots of holes for venting. More holes on the bottom for venting. And a micro USB port. That port is not for charging. You do not charge in this device. That port is for firmware updates only. Now you could upgrade this guy. What I recommend that you do is go into my description box below, and I provide a link where you could download the program and upgrade it, you know, to the latest firmware if you'd like. If you think there's a problem, if it's working fine the way it is, don't mess around with it if it's working good. I think early firmwares might have been a problem with some memory functions, but this one doesn't, so I think everything is shipping with really good firmware now. So I'd say if it's working, don't mess with it unless they're giving you some features you want. But one thing they said is the upgrade tool, you have to hold the fire button all the time during the upgrading, is the exact wordage they use. So press and hold the fire button while you're running the software to upgrade it while you're plugged into your Windows only PC, Windows only support only, using a micro USB cable, which is not included. Not included. Sorry, folks. Now, there's your battery door. Now there's the rattle I'm talking about. I'm not a fan of. You can actually see it a little bit there. Not a fan of when devices do that. You know, if you're anal retentive, obsessive compulsive, things like this could drive you mad, so I'm letting you know right off the bat. Anyway, magnets hold this guy in. What you want to do is you want to pull down on it a little bit and then pull away. You have 2 magnets right there that hold it on. There's your other 2 magnets. And what you have to do is load, and I'm going to go ahead and pull these out here. Load, again, high quality 18650 batteries that you supply into this. Positive side up on all of them, negative side all on the bottom. And batteries are basically in series. The way that you put it in is you lay this guy down on either side, don't matter. You just want to pop one battery out, then you get the rest of them out. But positive side up, put all your batteries in, put another battery in there, another battery in here. Build quality, I really am liking the build quality, and sort of make this guy go over. Get over there. Get over there. Alright. And there we go. All in, ready to go. Now another redeeming quality of this unit is this screen. Look at that screen. It's huge, it's bright, and it provides all the information anybody could ever want from their electronic cigarette or vaping device, APV, whatever you want to call it. You see a bunch of dots there. That's your ramp up. That's your ramp up, so it can go anywhere from, you know, your low to your max hit when you're in like temperature. And ramp up is like when you first hit the button, you could have it where it's really low and the power that's provided is low, and then it slowly comes up, or you could have it just hit hard max, and so those dots, you have 5 different levels. if you could see that. Next is your memory settings. You have 10 different memories you can set settings into. So this is M0, I guess, right there. Yeah. Then you got your time. You got your battery. In this case, you got your wattage. When you're in temperature control, of course, you'd have temperature there. Then you have your ohm, because I don't have a device on here. It says 0. And your voltage, it lets you know what the voltage is when you hit that fire button. Of course, I don't have an atomizer. I like that the error is clear. No secret code that you have to decipher. And then you have your puff counter, something I've never used. But whatever. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my Limitless RDTA Plus, which is my favorite device right now, which I did review recently, so you can go back a couple of videos, check it out. And you can see the ohm reading. This is what I had on it recently, so it's not asking me if it's a new one or not, but it would in a lot of cases. 0.15 ohms. This thing can handle all the way down to 0.05 to 3 ohms in wattage mode. When you're in temperature control mode, it can handle down to 0.06 and up to 2 ohms in those temperature control settings. So it can handle very wide range. It can handle the sub-ohm coils that we all love. By the way, lots of protections built in. You have your 12-second cutoff. You got your short circuit and overheating protection, which is a good thing when you have 300 watts in your hand and you're happy to see me. Now let's talk about operation. I already talked about how to lock it, unlock it with the 5 taps on the button. Next, we want to talk about mode select. How do you change from temperature to memory to wattage mode? The way that you do that is you hit your fire button and your plus button at the same time. So we could go ahead and do that, and you can see how now I'm in temperature control mode, now I'm in memory mode. So I went to M1, and then now I'm in wattage mode. So you see that? So you just fire button, plus button will cycle you through the modes, and there's the wattage mode. Next is your ramp up. So you're going to hit your fire and your minus, and now you can sort of see it says soft, normal. You can see those little dots increasing as I go. Now we've got 4 dots for hard, and then of course super magic max. You're going to hit real hard on that ramp up. That's what I like. Next is when you're in the memory mode. Like I'm going to go ahead and go to memory again. So minus and or plus in the fire. Let's get to memory. Okay, so we're in the memory mode, and we're in my memory setting on number 1. If I wanted to go to, let's say, M2 or 3 or 4, whatever I happen to choose, you want to hit the plus and minus at the same time, and you can see now it went to M2, M3, M4. Can you see those changing there? Can you see it? And what you could do is you could like change it to whatever you want, and then it's going to remember that in that slot, in that memory slot. And you could remember 10 things. Pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in wattage mode. So once you sort of go through these things, it almost becomes second nature, and it's really simple to use after you sort of know how to do it. I'll tell you that the manual is a little tricky. I just looked online for another video that I had found, and then it all made a lot of sense. The next thing I want to do is show you the elaborate menu system this thing has. So what you want to do is you want to hit the fire button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And now you can cycle through all these different things. Lack of a better term, different things. So we can let's start off with that guy, and you can see you could also change your mode there, and you could change your ramp up there, things like that. Let's go ahead and go back 3 times. What's next? It looks like the coil So you can change the material, whether it's stainless steel, titanium, nickel, and then you can change the TCR if you don't like what's preset on there. So like if you have a different kind of stainless steel, maybe you could tweak that or whatnot. Let's see, what do we got next? We can take a look at, you could adjust the initial ohm reading if you like. What else do we got? 1, 2, 3. Do I have to wait till it's, oh, maybe I just need to hit it. I should have just let it time out. Come on, time out. Oh, press the fire button. I'm an idiot. Alright, 1, 2, 3. What do we got next? We got this square looking thing there. What does that do? It lets you hide the screen if you want to be stealthy. You can adjust your contrast. Right now it's 100% for the screen itself. And also adjust your time, which I already did. I got the correct time. Yes, it is, 19:08, which is military time for 7:08 p.m. or 24-hour time. Alright, go back into the menu here. Whoops, damn it. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Next we have this guy, which is also time set. I guess that other thing was time out in that other one, and this is where you set your time. And what else we got? Got that P looking thing, that's your puff counter and your resets and things like that. 1, 2, 3. Next is battery. I love this. It lets you see what the voltage of each individual cell is. And when I had this in the back, it had A, B, C marked on the battery cell, so you could see which one it was talking about. Alright, and then the last thing we got is this gear. And that gear lets you actually turn off the device or upgrade it. But I recommend you do that press and hold button when you have the micro USB and using that function. So there's sort of like 2 ways to upgrade it. So really that is your operation on this device. It's a lot, I know, but once you sort of play with it a little bit, you'll get it. But if you have a lot of different devices and you got to remember each one of them, it could become a handful. And oh my god, it is a handful. As a matter of fact, let's I'm just curious, my Limitless on top of this guy full of all the batteries, it does feel like a handful, and I'm curious what it actually weighs. So just so you know, it's like a pound. Do you see that? 15.94 ounces. That's a pound. Wow. So if you want to work on your abs or your triceps and stuff, carry this guy around as your everyday carry, and you'll be a weightlifter before you know it. This is, not for me when it comes to everyday carry. This is something that, I'll have on my desk, whether at home or work, and just sort of leave it there. It's not something I really want to carry around, unless, of course, I'm going to some event where I want to impress somebody with my large device. Alright, we went there. So, let's go ahead and try this out. I am going to put this at about 100. And if you notice, if I press and hold it, it goes faster, and it's sort of intense, but once you get over, I think it's like 200, it starts going in just full watts. I don't know if you could see that. It really gets faster once maybe you get over 100, yeah. And then when you get under 100, it goes by tenths. So you can speed through different things, and also when you're in temperature control, of course you can go down to 100 up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it will round robin if you kept on going through the equivalent Celsius of those temperatures. So just like all the other devices out there. So I'm going to set this to 100 watts on my device here that is reading 0.13 ohms. So I'm going to be putting, in this case, 3.7 volts through it. And let's see how good she varies. By the way, I'm sorry about the chainsaw noise. We had a storm come through here last night, and they're cutting up trees that sort of fell. We had those poplar trees which don't have very deep roots, and it's been pouring like crazy, and that saturates the ground, and then they go over with the slightest little wind. And it's one of the, I hate trees. I hate trees. I want to live in a desert with no trees around. I just want to see sky so I can see all the UFOs. Yeah, but not. Alright. We're going to try her out. By the way, I did try this out with temperature control. Works perfect. No problems whatsoever. Very happy with it. But I'm not a big temperature control kind of person. I just like wattage, and I like tweaking things myself. And I know when to take my finger off the button and not burn the wick. Alright, here we go. Okay, the rescue squad's going to be coming soon because they probably think there's a fire. It vapes like a champ. Vapes like a champ. And because, you know, you have it in the high wattage mode, but because you got those 3 batteries in here, it's not going to, like, suck the battery down instantly like the 2-cell or 1-cell devices. So, you know, that's, if you're going to go high, very high wattage, like 300, you want 3 cells in there because you don't want to have to be taking out the battery and charging it or swapping out batteries all the time. You got this. By the way, I am vaping something I got in my local vape shop. Was on sale on the counter. It's called Classified. Yeah, Classified. It's sort of a custard pudding pie. It's called Indulge by Classified. I love the taste of it. I like those kind of flavors, like dessert flavors. I'm on a diet. I'm going to give you a little heads up here. I'm going to sort of digress just a little bit from this. I have been dieting like mad. You know, at the beginning of the year, I weighed 25 pounds more. If you notice, my face is getting a little skinnier. So for that person that commented that I never forgot, that called me fat face, it's not as fat now. And I intend to lose even more. And I'm probably going to be reviewing a lot of fitness trackers. So if that's something that you're kind of excited about, let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure that I get a few more before I start, and we can compare. GearBest has volunteered to at least send me one so far, and I have some others that I bought, so it'd be kind of neat to sort of run through these. By the way, you can see the puff counter running through there. I'd like to take a look at what that looks like. And look at that. This Limitless Plus, I did a review on it a week or 2 ago, and my wife has been helping me out, and maybe she'll put the link below to that if you don't want to go looking for it. But my favorite freaking tank, and I got that from GearBest too, and it is just insanely good because it has yet to leak. Sort of a little long-term review on this Limitless Plus. No leaking because airflow is on the top, and so it can't leak out your air holes, which I love, and it's wide open. I mean, it's an incredible tank, never a dry hit, and it's sort of a Genesis style feed up on a velocity deck. And I have some monster coils that came with it there. If we focus again one day, there we go. Woo! Now I gotta clean my lens. Has a unique way of filling there on the side too. Kind of really cool. And what you want to line up these slits with the coils, so you get that airflow right across your coils. And one more vape here before we wrap things up. You know, I'm gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna bring my wattage up until, let's do 225. 225. Let's get crazy. Then we'll wrap it up. Did you see how fast that was? Now I taste a very, very slight burn there, so I know I'm going too far. So again, this is why I don't need temperature control, because I can use my taste buds and sort of know, okay, I'm doing something stupid. bring it down. Bring it down. I have a brain. I like to use it every now and then. It's like those cashiers that it tells you the change and they still don't know how to figure it out. You know what I'm talking about? Alright, so I'm going to bring it back down to 100 now. Wow. So you could see at 100 watts when I press the button, it sort of gives you a live feed of what your voltage is right there. So that was 3.7. And again, temperature control works great. Love this stuff. I recommend it. Again, the cons. Don't like when battery covers rattle like that. So again, if you fixate on things like that and you know it does it, you're gonna just subconsciously start doing it even in your hand. You'll like hold it. Yeah, it's doing that. I'm fixating. So there's that my biggest con on this device. I don't, you know, maybe you could put a little piece of fire retardant material there to sort of maybe tighten it up between the battery. I don't know. I don't know if you want to do that and block air holes, venting. You got a lot on the bottom, so you could probably do that. Maybe get rid of a little bit of that rattle, some of it maybe, if it really bugs you. But this is an incredible device. Very impressive device. This is the highest wattage I've ever had in my hand. 300 watts. That's just insane. And I love the look of this. And you know what? When it does get warm, it is a hand warmer. So you're getting like 2-in-1 right here. A multifunction device. You're getting an electronic cigarette or your personal vaporizer and a hand warmer in the winter. Really cool. Okay. Links are below. And if I missed anything, it's probably in the description box below. So please check it out. That's why I got all these things that say look down further, you know, down there. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the GearBest channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day, evening, and whatever time it is, wherever you are. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you supporting my channel, whether you're in vaping or not. One other thing. Dieting, one of the things that I cut out was like snacking after 6 o'clock, but sometimes I gotta eat something, I'm starving. You get these savory flavors, at least for me, and when I'm sitting there wanting a snack, instead, it's one of the reasons why I vape, because it helps me from inadvertently snacking and then gaining weight. Bye!